Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci fi show where things can get totally radical. Now, today I will be interviewing an independent filmmaker. His name is Stu Pollard. He wrote and directed this really funny independent film back in 1999 called Nice Guys Sleep Alone, a movie I watched over and over again when I was transforming myself back in 2006 when I was on my diet. And he also made a thriller called Keep Your Distance. And then it seems like he's quit directing and just focused on producing. And I'm going to find out why. His movies are pretty unique, pretty original, and it's going to be pretty cool to have him on the podcast today. And I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming, and it's going to get some good results, I think. So, yeah, here is my interview with Stu Pollard. Hi, Stu.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. I'm so sorry. Well,
It's all good, man. You're the one who's been super patient with me, and I can't seem to write a time down right. And it's a busy time, but an exciting time. So, anyway, is this still good for you? Have I screwed up your day again?
oh no, this is just perfect.
All
Well,
right.
welcome
You
to.
tell me what we need to do, and if you can hear me, okay?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Welcome to the show, sir. It's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time today, finally.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So going back to the beginning, did you fall in love with film early on?
Oh, so we're just gonna jump right in here. All right.
Yeah.
The I don't know that I necessarily fell in love with it. I certainly wasn't making films. It was making Super 8 films when I was right out of the cradle, like a lot of people you hear legendary stories about. But I did like making stuff, and the first stuff I made was actually here on a podcast. Was actually audio programming, so I sort of did my own version of little radio dramas and radio spots for
Huh.
a show that I had fun doing in high school, and kind of continued that into college a little bit, and then I finally got a video camera very late in high school and used that a lot in college to shoot mostly. But you couldn't do anything with the footage because the only way you could edit those VHS tapes was in these $1 million edit suites. So I finally got into one of those my senior year of college and got to play around with some very fundamental editing, but then largely forgot about it for 3 years while I worked in New York doing advertising. So it wasn't until I got to USC Film School in '95 that I really embraced it full on.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember the first movie you ever saw?
I remember the first movie I was ever obsessed with, and that was The Towering Inferno um, by Irwin Allen. And I went to go see that. I was at my 10th birthday party, and I think I saw that movie 2 or 3 times, and I smuggled a tape recorder in to see it. I was a Star Wars junkie like everybody else, but Towering Inferno was, that cast is just legendary with Newman and McQueen and
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson, Fred Astaire, Faye Dunaway.
Richard Chamberlain.
Yeah, I mean, they don't make them like that anymore. So,
You're the first person who's ever told me that they were obsessed by a disaster flick.
yeah, well, I like a lot of young kids, young boys anyway. I wanted to be a fireman when I grew up. So my birthday party that year was getting to tour a fire station, and we all went to go watch The Towering Inferno. So, um, anyway, so that's a big, strong juvenile movie memory for me.
Yeah, I was a Poseidon Adventure guy when I was growing up.
Yeah, same creator and a lot of the same cast, I believe. So,
Yeah. So, what are your favorite movies of all time?
well, that's sort of a list that changes a lot, in terms of what my number one is. But I certainly say films that have influenced me over the years. One of the best things about going to SC was that it really gave you an appreciation appreciation for the history of cinema, and while I can't say I liked all my what were then called critical study classes, I did really enjoy a Westerns genre class. We got to watch a different Western every week, and two of those movies that really jumped out to me outside, I mean, every movie was outstanding, but the two that really jumped out to me and kind of stayed with me were The Searchers with John Wayne, and also Once Upon a Time in the West. So and that one I've got a big poster of in my room. Jason Robards and Henry Fonda and Charles Bronson and Claudia Cardinal. So anyway, so those are sort of my favorite westerns. I also, of course, love the more, by comparison, more recent Unforgiven. I love all the original Star Wars movies. I love The Shawshank Redemption. I've got a soft spot in my heart for a lot of comedies that came out in the early 80s and late 70s. Fletch probably being chiefly among them. But I see Ivor Reitman's son's going to reboot Ghostbusters. That's certainly on that list, along with Stripes and Animal House, Blazing Saddles. A lot of those movies have a lot in common. I'm pretty sure Blazing Saddles and Fletch share a writer in common. And anyway, so, and then, in terms of romantic comedy, since the first movie I made was a romantic comedy, When Harry Met Sally certainly is one of my favorite in that genre. I still think that sets the bar pretty darn high. And anyway, so that's a short list of some classics, and I guess now the 80s have to be looked at as a pretty distant memory, because it's 30 years ago since those movies got made. They still all hold the test of time for me.
Oh, yeah. I love all those movies, too. My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future.
Yep. Basically the same vintage, and I think that was 85. That came out same year as Beverly Hills Cop, I believe.
Yep.
So.
But Beverly Hills Cop was December of 84.
Well, I'm looping all those. I think Fletch was summer of 85.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looping all those into I break years down to the 80s by my academic calendar, so that was my senior year of high school when all this were coming out.
So you were in advertising first, and then you went to film school.
Correct. I think I majored in business, and I think I thought that advertising would be sort of this perfect blend of creativity and business, and I'm sure for some people it is, but I entered the ranks as a media planner, and as a result, only got to do numbers and schedules for the better part of 3 years, budgets and schedules. And so it was very analytical and taught me a lot about sort of organization and scheduling and how dollars go against media buys and things like that. But I didn't get to touch the creative at all. And it was at the prodding of some of my roommates at the time, who were buddies from college, that I applied to film programs and got rejected from 6 of the 7 I applied, but the 7th I got into, which was USC.
What year did you move to Los Angeles?
1992. So that was I moved about 6 months after the Rodney King riots.
Wow, that must have been insane.
It was an interesting time. We had the riots in '92. There were really bad wildfires in '93, and then of course in '94 we had the Northridge earthquake. So that was sort of an annual crazy thing happening in LA for that stretch of the mid '90s. So yeah, it was a crazy time.
Yeah, that Michael Douglas movie, Falling Down, was being filmed during it. Yeah.
I don't know if I realized that, but it sounds about right.
Yeah. Now, Nice Guys Sleep Alone had been a Bruce Firestein book before you made the movie. How did you get involved with the movie?
Well, going back to college, a woman I was kind of dating at the time, but not really dating at the time, gave me that book as sort of an homage to how I was approaching our relationship. Let's just say there was somebody else involved, and I didn't necessarily want to be the third person in the equation. So anyway, but she gave me that book, and I'd always kept it, and it's been something that I always look back. Every time I picked it up, I found something funny in it. So flash forward 10 years, or maybe not quite that. When I got out of film school in '95, I started a company which is still around today, Lunacy Unlimited, and we were kind of scrappy to get our hands on whatever projects we could. We did an industrial video, we did a couple of commercials, we did a music video, we did CD-ROM, if you remember what those were.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was after the CD-ROM shoot, which had a healthy budget. I think it had a budget of $75,000 or $100,000. I was able to pay a lot of my classmates a decent living wage to work on it for a few days at a time. One of the women who helped me produce some of the stuff, named Heidi Winston, basically said, "Are we out here to do this, or are we out here to make movies?" And so I said, "You're right. We could probably, get comfortable doing these kind of projects, but they're not necessarily creatively fulfilling." So even though I'm grateful for the work and we had it, so I told her probably in that same conversation, I said, "Well, if we ever make a movie, I want to make a movie based on book Nice Guys." And sure enough, I didn't really know what I was doing, but I ended up connecting with the author, who put me in touch with his attorney, and the author's a good friend to this day, Bruce Scherstein. And anyway, I optioned it, and which wasn't a terrible amount of money. Probably paid more to the lawyer than I did for the initial option price. And then a few years later, we had a script. And this is the kind of book that if anybody were to adapt it, they'd end up with a far different script than me, just because the book's kind of this anecdotal guidebook on dating. It's not going to do Kentucky horses or raging alcoholic bachelors. But but after we had the script, we formed an LLC. I went back to some of my friends and family who had said when I first went off to film school, they said, if you ever want to, put something together that requires some outside investment, let me know. I'd bet on you in a heartbeat. And so we were able to raise a little bit of money. We shot that film in the summer of '98, finished it in by the fall of '99, played some good festivals, and as we finished it towards the end of '98, played a bunch of festivals in '99, and then got very lucky with the distribution on that. So anyway, it's kind of like your first child you look back on. It's been 20 years ago since we made that film, and it was just an absolute blast. And we're actually going to try to re-release it in high definition for the first time, because it's never been available in HD video.
Nice.
The rights all revert back to me in the next few months, and so we're going to try to set that up. And another thing we'll release in 2019.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I discovered the movie in 2006, and I was in the middle of a very interesting time in my life. I was on this insane diet that I had to go on, and I was just doing stand-up comedy, and I noticed that the human condition was being poked fun about in movies at that time, 40-Year-Old Virgin and Just Friends, and then I discovered this movie. And I felt like, I related to all three movies because I felt like I was a nice guy who wasn't getting women. And so, it helped me with my stand-up comedy a great deal.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting now to sort of look at it through, a 20-year-old lens, and it has a lot of fun with sort of the games people play dating-wise, and some of the masks we have to wear. But at its heart, it's a film about, there's a line at the end of that movie that William Sanderson has, where I'm in a hospital and there's commotion occasionally. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but
It's okay.
I believe he says something like, be kind to strangers, because if that person sitting across from you ain't right for you, maybe they'll have somebody who is.
Right.
And which is you look at that and sort of what's facing a lot of businesses, including the entertainment industry, with all these high-profile cases of not so nice guys, to put it mildly, being ousted for just this reprehensible behavior. And obviously the storyline tethers to that is sort of the rise of women in the business and gender equality and all things that I've actually, I hope that where we end up in the wake of all this is that all the bad apples get thrown out, and that should be good for women in the business, obviously, and that should also be good for the nice guys that are left standing. So I'd like to think I'm one of those.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I know that sure is pretty relevant today. Um, how did you?
Sorry, it was so quiet a minute ago, and now I've got
Oh,
trash bin.
I can barely hear it.
Sorry.
How did you find Sean O'Brien?
Well, Sean's actually from Louisville,
Mm-hmm.
where we shot the movie and where I grew up. So he came to us through normal auditioning channels. Our casting director was a woman named Leanne Groff on that movie, and so he walked in, but he was just like, he started looking at this. He told us that he started reading the script. He's just like, oh my gosh, I know this location, I know this location, I know this location. Um, so anyway, it was just serendipitous that he came in via traditional casting and happened to be from Louisville, and it was perfect for the part.
Oh yeah, he's great in the movie. I reached out to him. I hope I hear back from him eventually. He's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. We just finished another movie with him that's out right now called Rust Creek. So it's great to work. We shot that in Kentucky too, so it's great to work with him in Louisville on 2 movies now, just 20 years apart.
Mm-hmm. I did reach out to Sybil, and she declined because she's not an actress anymore. What was she like to work with?
I haven't seen Sybil in probably 5 years now, so but no, the whole cast was great. Like it was my first feature as a director, and obviously there's things you prepare for and things you try to get right, and there's other things you just have to hope people will meet you halfway when you're sort of it's a trial by fire thing, and it was had a great crew. Our direct photography, Nathan Hope, was just absolutely outstanding. And he's gone on to enjoy a nice long career in the business. I've already mentioned Heidi, who was the kind of producer that every director should aspire to have. And anyway, it was a great team effort, and just can't say enough nice things about the crew we had. But the same goes for the cast. It's Sybil and Vanessa and Michael and Sean and Blake and Chris Murray. I mean, all those people were just amazing. I think everybody loved coming to Kentucky, and Sybil probably challenged me the most out of all the actors because she just cared. I think they all cared, but I think she, in particular, was playing this very strong-willed woman who was sort of a stranger, a fish out of water in Kentucky, and there were so many things about the character that she brought to it and just wanted to get right. So, and obviously, it's one thing to be a nice guy and have a discussion with your lead actor about certain things relating to the character, and I feel like I can stand my ground pretty strongly there. When your lead actress is talking to you about, questions about her character, I have to lend extra credence to that because she's coming at it from a female perspective where I wasn't, obviously.
Mm-hmm. And you also had a young Maggie Lawson in the movie.
Yep. Maggie. I think I left out Maggie and Jeffrey, and I mentioned Bill Sanderson before when I was running off cast. So
Yeah.
speaking of Fletch, it's great to have that movie have 1 degree of separation from Fletch because Bill was, of course, in that was in Fletch and in our movie.
Yep.
Yeah, Maggie was great too. I haven't seen her in years, but she was just an absolute delight to work with, and another Louisville native that we got lucky to work with, and she's gone on to actually, obviously have a hell of a career.
Yeah. Did you see a spark in her back then?
Well, it wasn't just me, but of course, and that's why we cast her. But she's been in front of a camera since long before we worked with her, and I think she celebrated either her 17th or 18th birthday working on that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, she was a delight. Her family was great, and anyway, just a joy to be around. And you work with somebody who's that good, and
How many days did it take to film the movie?
Well, you're going back in time now pretty happily, but I want to say we shot for a little over 4 weeks. I do remember it being a 6-day-a-week show, so we probably had round numbers, 22, 23 shooting days of principal, and then a few days of second unit. All the stuff involving the horses, which if you look at the movie was the there's several scenes in horses where there are people looking at something and then the horses are doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and there's not shots to tie the actors and the horses together. Those are the shots that we shot second unit both at the racetrack and out on Hermitage Farm.
Mm-hmm. And then you did Keep Your Distance, which was about 6 years later. How come you waited so long to direct another movie?
Well, it wasn't a question of waiting intentionally, but with Nice Guys, part of the reason it got on, ended up on Netflix and HBO and a few other places, was because I was very persistent about getting it out there. So I for Nice Guys, there was a chain of video stores called Hollywood Video.
Right.
It's gone the way of the electric banana, but I think I visited something like 300 or 400 Hollywood Video locations while Nice Guys was out on its initial video run, and ended up speaking at Hollywood Video's national convention because I had visited more stores than anybody had ever worked for the company, and then that just takes time. So not sort of taking the first year of that is getting Nice Guys out there. Then you deal with what goes into putting together another indie, which I had to finance myself. So I was able to get the people who invested in Nice Guys a little bit of money back, but to the point where they were enthusiastic about participating again. But also, I wanted to make a bigger movie with a bigger budget. They didn't want to put in as much as they did the first time, so I had to go out and write a business plan and learn a lot more about the fundraising side of the business. And I think it took us a year and a half to pull that money together, maybe longer when you factor in that our fundraising time period overlapped with 9/11. And when that happened, we cooled our efforts considerably, just because we thought it was a time where everybody needed to heal, and it wasn't the best time, certainly decorum-wise, to be putting a deal in front of people. So probably 2 years all to raise the money. So that gets you to 2002, and if not early 2003, I think we shot that movie in 2003. So anyway, so that's kind of where that time went.
The movie has kind of a neo-noir vibe to it.
Are you talking about Keep Your Distance now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always maintain that film is a stronger movie than people give it credit for. I think it's, when we ended up selling it, it got packaged as this thriller. And it's really more of a drama with suspenseful elements. And it was very important to me to play with, at the core what that movie is about is trust. And sort of how the distance and how close you are to somebody, both physically and emotionally, has massive impact on how much you trust them. So that's why there's the subplot of the people who are not close to each other. The main plot is the characters who aren't together at all, for the most part in the movie until the end, and they are able to trust each other more so than the characters that are together a lot of times, to the point of one stalking another. So anyway, but I think it's exceptionally well shot, well cut, and obviously I'm biased, but it's certainly a more ambitious film than Nice Guys was in terms of trying to tell a multifaceted, multi-layered story that had a lot of nuance. And some people get that, and some people are expecting there's some big elements in it. There's a car chase, and there's a thunderstorm, and some other chaotic things, but obviously not as many people saw that movie as I would have hoped.
Yeah. Did you like working with Stacy Keach?
foreign language. He was so prepared. So, and then he's the guy. He and Gil Bellows both were hugely helpful, just in terms of helping me elevate my game in terms of how I work with actors. Stacy was the one who just said, he's like, any actors just wants good, clear, concise direction. It's like once you're all on set together, it doesn't matter if you recognize the name or not. They just want to collaborate. You just need to give them as clear and concise direction as possible, because 99% of the actors out there, whether they're a name or not, just want to give their best performance and be given an opportunity to an environment in which to thrive. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Elizabeth Pena and Dennis Berkley, God rest their souls, very talented people.
Yeah, totally agree. And they were a hoot to work with, and kind of similar to Bill Sanderson, Dennis Berkley's got a connection to Sanford and Son, at least a reboot of it, and that was one of my favorite shows growing up. So, but yeah, I lost Elizabeth way too soon, and obviously I missed a lot of people who I've worked with and lost. So.
And you also had Rick Overton, who I know from San Francisco stand-up comedy.
Yep. He came in and did a day for us. He both Dennis and him and Gary Anthony Williams, who's another really funny guy in life in general, as well as had some nice moments in the film, all came to us through our casting director, Monica Nicholson, who is still a good friend to this day. And she was good about sending a lot of great people our way. So.
Yeah, Rick's a great guy.
Yeah, very funny.
Mm-hmm. So now you're only producing movies?
I wouldn't say that I'm only producing. The one we have out now, I've got a story fronted on, and I'm certainly developing a lot of material. That's part of what our company's doing now. It's just trying to get a lot of scripts put together that are ready to shoot. So we sort of have a somewhat nimble capacity to put a bunch of different things into production based on who we might get to partner with next. But this time around, kind of rebooting Lunacy, as it were, back in 2015, I did tell my investors that I was going to focus primarily on producing rather than trying to be either a double or triple hyphenate. So I could do a better job of producing, and I could let the people that I was producing for do a better job at their specific goals. Notably, in the case of Rust Creek, our new film, Jen McGowan did an outstanding job directing, and Julie did a great job delivering a top-notch script. And so it was nice to get to collaborate with those people, and I'll still have obviously an immense amount of responsibility to be able to fight a lot of those battles as a team rather than wearing too many hats myself.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the signs that the independent film distribution was going to be really difficult in the future?
Well, I don't know that it was easy when I started. Probably the biggest difference when I started is there were fewer places to get your work seen, but there were fewer movies getting made. Now with the content explosion, there's a lot of really, really good things that don't have the opportunity to be seen by a vast audience, just because even with all the new channels and outlets, it's just challenging to get noticed. And so I think anybody could see it coming that at a minimum, technology was allowing more people to make stuff, which is good in some respects because it allows just about anybody a much lower barrier to entry to create, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But that does mean that between what's happening on the independent level, in 20 years we've seen the feature submissions at Sundance jump fivefold from 1,000 to nearly 5,000. And then you look at what the Netflixes and the Amazons and now Apple and Facebook of the world are all doing in terms of creating mounds of content. It's,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what year it was, but I think there was a time where you could say, hey, if I did nothing but watch movies the rest of my life, I could watch everything ever made. And I think now that's beyond a statistical impossibility. I should live to be like 1,000. So, and the upside of all technology is that no filmmaker should ever not be able to get their work seen. because if you know what you're doing in terms of securing your rights and all that kind of good stuff, then at a minimum you should be able to put your film up on a place like a Vimeo or a YouTube, and have people see it. But which wasn't the case when I started 20 years ago. There's no guarantee people would see your work. Now you should be able to pretty much guarantee that anyone around the world should be able to see your work. Just it's a question of monetizing those eyeballs.
Yeah, I definitely think the internet was responsible for that.
Yeah.
So your new movie, Rust Creek, so it's out now?
It is. It came out on all digital platforms on January 4th, so it's on iTunes and Amazon and PlayStation and Google Play and pretty much any place you can buy a movie on demand. You can rent a movie on demand. You can rent Rust Creek. You can go to rustcreek.com to get a full list of the platforms and check out the trailer. But they also did IFC Midnight's releasing it, and they did a day and date for us. So we played, I think, about 15 markets now total. It's still in theaters in Louisville. It's still in a theater in LA. We played New York, and I think we're also in Santa Fe this weekend. Knoxville, Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Columbus. I couldn't tell you exactly how they picked most of these markets. I can tell you why they picked Louisville. Because we pushed hard for that. It's the film's hometown. But yeah, obviously most of the people in the U.S. are going to see the film digitally, and it's nice to have. It's nice to be available on all those platforms, and it's nice to have social media so that you can help call people's attention to it, and hopefully over time enough people see that film for it to pay for itself.
Certainly, I will definitely check it out. Is there anything else you're working on that you can mention?
Well, our production company website is lunacyproductions.com, and that's got capsule summaries of a handful of the projects we're developing. We have a lot of great source material. So the woman who wrote Rust Creek, Julie Lipson, we have another script with her that's based on a short story called The Man Who Knew Bellstar, and that genre-wise is very similar to Rust Creek. It's a thriller that has some dramatic elements in it as well. It's a great relationship movie between this older guy, this ex-con, and this sort of troubled teenager who calls herself Bellstar. But it's not a romantic kind of film. It's very much about their relationship, and at different points in the movie, you're sort of wondering who's going to save who. So we hope to get some traction off that in the wake of Rust Creek sitting at 86% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, which is fabulous in terms of the critical response, and so we're hoping that will help put a little momentum behind Bellstar. But jumping to the opposite end of the spectrum, I've got a comedy called Wonder Dog. It's written by a guy named Inman Majors. Or the underlying source material is a book of the same name, political satire. Inman Majors wrote the book, and we think that's got a lot of potential too in terms of being a story that, despite now being 10 years old, is something that has a lot of relevance given the sort of political schizophrenia the country has right now, and also set in the South in Alabama, and it's got a lot of humor to it and a lot of smart stuff under the surface as well. So, and we've got a Bourbon Gloom comedy. It's an original screenplay by a couple of my former students called The Barnaby Legacy. They're the rights to a post-apocalyptic book that was written in the late 50s called Alas Babylon. So we have a lot of fun stuff that we're developing. It was just a question of finding the money.
Yeah, the money's always the issue when you're trying to make a film. So Stu, I thank you so much for taking the time today, and I will definitely check out Rust Creek and anything else you have coming out. And I hope everything is okay over there. Hope everything will work out.
I appreciate that. I apologize to your listeners if I'm a little hushed in my tones, but I am in a hospital waiting room just dealing with some family stuff, so I think it'll all work out, but adding some further craziness to a crazy time. And I appreciate the opportunity to be on your show, and if you production company at Rust Creek is the one for the new film Rust Creek, and check it out if you can. We're really encouraged with how we started, but every little bit helps. So
certainly, you sounded great. So don't worry about that. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.
Tommy, I know I'm a moving target, so I appreciate your stick-to-itiveness, and I hope this goes over well for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay. Have a great day.
Take care, and I'll see you next time. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you have it. Stu Pollard. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, Stu. I'm sorry about, personal family troubles you're having right now and everything, but you were great, and I'm glad you're following your filmmaking dreams. I'm not too far from that myself, and I will be watching whatever you have out. Glad you're working with Sean O'Brien again. He's a great actor. If a lot of you out there listening don't know who Sean O'Brien is, check it out. He's a great actor, and he delivers. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and all that fun stuff. Well, this is all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past because the present sucks. Later, dudes.